Hey, what's going on? So this video is probably not going to make it to IG. So for those who uh, follow me on IG, whatever, you're probably going to find this one on my YouTube or my Facebook, and I'll try to leave the links in there when I post about this one. But this one is going to be different from the one I just did a minute ago, and this one's basically going to be titled "Choices." Well, it's gonna be a little bit more than just about choices. But the whole idea of me calling it choices is because of the fact of I think a lot of people make choices due to the influence of others and not because of the fact of they can actually make their own choices based on their own valid thought process or whatever thought process they have. And I say this because there are people who I've come across that will literally not do anything out of the norm or think outside the box because of the fact of the influence of maybe, say, your parents, grandparents, whoever I guess raised you to be the person you are today. Had a huge influence and a huge impact on your life to the fact that you think that this certain decision that you may make may end up ruining you, may end up corrupting you, I guess, to a certain degree. I mean, and that's a valid point, but at the end of the day, if you don't actually partake in it, just to even find out what the end result will be, how the hell would you even know what that would actually do to you? Because literally all you're doing is basing your judgment or your decision off the fact of what someone else wouldn't do instead of what you would do. Because we all grew up to be adults who can be the captain and the master of their own destinies. But a lot of y'all are acting like y'all the goddamn sidekick instead of the person who can actually write their own narrative, which is why I've always had the notion and the aspiration to be a writer, which I hope to be before, this thing called life ends. And because, like we all know, we all got a clock that's eventually going to stop as far as being in this vessel, because I mean, this ain't real. What's inside you, your soul, is real. So whatever you end up next is probably just the next vessel that's going to carry on to the next generation and so on and so forth. Hopefully it's a better or even better existence than the one you had before. I mean, that's basically what we all want at the end of the day, is the best version of who we are. And the best version of who we are is all based on the fact of what do we value as right or wrong, sorry. What do we value as far as honor, what we consider honorable, or what do we think can give us the effect of being the happiest version of ourselves. Because I mean, at the end of the day, we all want to be happy, right? But yeah, it's just certain things I don't get about individuals who will not, I guess, live instead of just living to exist. And that's kind of the journey I want to be on. I mean, if I might have a life, I want to live it to the fullest I can, which is why I decided to travel as much as I possibly can, or try to, do these as much as I can, these videos. I mean, even though I know certain people like the effects of what they get from this video, and I appreciate all the love that y'all have. But at the end of the day, this was, like I said from the beginning, more for me than it was for y'all, because this right here is more like my saving grace than any other, I guess, avenue that most people use, like as far as like religion, or I guess maybe doing the arts and crafts, or whatever, I guess, hobby, or I want to say things that make them feel great about themselves. Or whatever gives them joy, I guess. That's basically the end all to be all. I mean, at the end of the day, we all want lives that we can look at and say we had no regrets. We never changed a thing about it. And man, every decision was pretty much based on the fact of we had the control of that situation and would never take it back for anything. Yeah, but also another reason I was making this video is because of the fact of if you make certain choices because of what another individual does, what another individual says is wrong, then you basically are not, well, like I said earlier, the captain and the master of your own destiny. Because what you got to think of is what your parents or whoever, I guess, is the biggest influence in your circle is whatever they deem as, I guess, reprehensible, or I guess abhorrent, maybe. And it just shows you that it's something that they will not do because of the fact that it's something that puts a fear in their heart or fear in their mind. But at the end of the day, the outcome of it all is you're not them. And if you're not them, that means that you can do whatever the hell you want to do, whatever the fuck you want to do, to be honest. Because if you're a grown-ass person with your own place, your own car, your own job, you can make your own goddamn decisions. That's just the end all to be all. I mean, keeping it true. And if no one understands that very simple concept, then you probably need to like put like a life coach on layaway or some shit like that, because anybody who's got the understanding of the human condition would know that at the end of the day, when you look in the mirror and you look at the life that you have, only person who's responsible for where you are at this particular moment is the person you see in that mirror every day. And that's the person who's accountable for everything that is either beneficial or detrimental in your life. So I say this to people who are able to make their own decisions as a grown-ass person, to keep going in the direction that you want to go in, because it's something you want and not what everyone else around you wants. Because you can't be solid or very, very direct in your own convictions as a person. And you pretty much have to do what others say, because the mind you have in your head apparently doesn't work, or you're just not trying to use it. Man, I'm not saying this to bash anyone. I mean, I know people got certain situations that they can't necessarily get out of. And because, I don't know, maybe there are other extenuating circumstances, but I just know this. Always be the person that you always wanted to be, because it's where you wanted to see yourself in years down the line. And with that being said, till the next video, peace.